All right, recording is going. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is a general call for the Dream vehicles or the Dream lineages. Just a few things from my side. Is Liana on yet? Not yet. She may be busy. Elian, where's Liana? Call your daughter. Get her on the call. I need a input tonight. All right.
I'll see what I can do, Stefan.
Thanks, Elian. The first thing I want to talk about is the outstanding boarding calls. We've got quite a few that's outstanding. I've made little Telegram groups for those boards, for most of them, where the people on the board then assist to get it finished. There's one extremely long overdue where we had to remove somebody today. I will add somebody there during the evening. If you not in the group, somebody will put you in there or send you a link. And then everybody on that board needs to work so that we can get it closed. There's quite a few that's outstanding for a long time. There's a few A boarding calls still outstanding. I'll go update all of them, all the groups tonight, and ask for new photos so we can see what's going on so that we can get them finished. Last week, we announced that you will be allowed to work on your own boards with your committed positions, your monthly positions, or on your own boards. There's one board that's nearly finished where everybody on the board decided to sponsor a few people in. We gave them people from the list and charities, NPOs from the sponsor file. There's one board probably going to finish tomorrow. There's quite a few that is nearly finished, needs two gifters or maybe one. We are committed to take the last position if the board can't finish from the sponsor files. It's been going well. In a week, we couldn't finish one of those boards yet, but like I said, one will possibly finish tomorrow. And I think there's 4 more that can finish in the next 2 days with the last 2 or 3 people on. New boarding calls, I had to skip 5 boards. I opened groups where the legend's name is on, the username, and the compartment and the boarding call number, and I added the legend to the group and asked for a photo of the board. I also added the other people on the boarding call in the group, and 5 people did not provide photos, so I can't do a boarding call. So the committed positions will currently go to the people or to the 6th board who submitted the photo. Lobster 3, he's getting people. And then after that, I'll ask for the next 5. If the photos don't come forward, we will allocate the monthly positions to the boards that we're working on currently. It's not selected according to the people on the board. People will contact and say, we want to work on our own board. I will look at the board and then open the group. So anybody that wants to work on their own boards, you can send me a photo and then we will open the group and get working. There's one group I opened this morning and it was about 35 minutes. We had 6 people on. The last 2 will go on tomorrow. The only other thing from my side is logins. People, you need to log in at least once every 14 days. You get a warning email 14 days after your last login to tell you you've got 14 days left. Then you get a mail on 7 days and you get a mail on 48 hours. After that 48 hours, your profile gets deleted. It's a huge process after that to recover it. So people, please log in at least once every 2 weeks. It's not so difficult. You don't have thousands and thousands of profiles. Go log in, make time. I spoke to somebody this afternoon and I worked out roughly, and then I went to test it for half an hour. I can log in, go to the board chat, type in the date and log out 75 profiles in 1 hour. It was 38 of them in 30 minutes. So even if you take a minute and you've got 10 profiles, it's 10 minutes of your day. You can do that while you drink coffee in the morning or while you drink coffee at tea time or lunchtime. It's not rocket science. Do what's supposed to be done. Okay, that's all from me then tonight. There's no other news. There was some announcement last night on the Zoom call. The recording is out. Go watch what they said. There's a lot of new features. The peak function was explained. A lot of people send me messages. I'm not on the board. When you join a bronze board, you go peak first, and then on top of the board, under the board ID, is a button that says join. That's when you get on the board. It's not rocket science. Just follow procedures. Is there anything that I missed? Liana is not on yet. She must be busy with something else. Liana is on. Liana, welcome. She doesn't want to talk to me. Okay, Liana's on a call. We'll give her a few minutes. I'm going to open up then for questions. Any questions anybody got? Put up your hand and then unmute yourself so that if I call your name so that we can answer your questions. Is there any questions? There's 38 people on the call. There must be one question somewhere. No questions. It's scary. Right, I'm going to ask a few questions then. Christina, unmute yourself, please. I've got a question for you.
Hi, good evening.
Christina, please tell the people on the call, what is your experience with working on your own boards or boards where a legend or a guide or some of the builders requested that we open a board chat group for them and started working on the boards. What's your experience so far?
I am only in one little group, and it goes quick. The people work together. It's actually a very, very lovely. It's a lovely experience. People who want to move the board. There's just excitement. Yes, I would suggest if Stefan says post a picture of the board, do it and get the boards moving.
Okay, thank you for that. Just a quick note on the groups. When the gifter is on, please post a photo of your information block for Yanni. You don't send photos to Yanni individually anymore or in a direct message. You post it in the group so that we can update the file. Remember, updating the file is a little bit more difficult now because we've got gaps now in between. So we go to the boarding call and then go to the space on the file where it's needed and then put the people in sequence so that when they eventually move to legend, that we can work according to the system. Who else on here is working on their own boards?
Hi, Stefan. It's Leona. Sorry, guys.
Are you back?
So Stefan, I think I've got Laura Kutsia on here that's working actually, I think, on 2 or 3 boards. Laura, please correct me, but I think it's more than one. It is amazing. We've got Ilona on here that's working. We've got Emma. Emma, we started working on your board today. I think we've got 2 on and another 4 that's committed to go on. So we'll have 6 on. I think Glenn Harvey on here. if I just go, Lizette, Norris, Madeline, see, the people that join the groups, or the people that join the Zooms, or the people that move and work the boards. That is how it goes. We're busy working on a board that Victor's on. We're busy working a board that Thornton is on. So a lot of these guys on here can motivate and support what we are doing is definitely working. We have taken a board. I mean, I think if I look at Victor's board, we had Victor sponsored somebody in, Henry sponsored somebody in, Andres took a spot, and Andres sponsored somebody in. So that was 4 spots like that. Like in 30 minutes, we filled half the board. We're still busy sending links and joining, but the 4 people, right, this is how we're going to move this board. There's 7 people on a board, Stefan. So if everyone takes one position, but now sometimes we've got 4 builders, which is the same person, and we understand that. So today we were working a board, and everyone on the board worked, and we still had 2 openings on. And I said, I'll help there. I'll help there. I'll sponsor 2 people in. Because if you've got 7 people on a board that fill 6 positions, then I don't mind helping that board. Or I find we had one of Aubrey's monthly committed positions on a different board that the 7 people brought 7 people in. So we needed 1 spot to close that board. And we've asked the monthly guy to join there, and it's done. The thing is, these boards where nobody works, I can't work a board alone when nobody wants to work the board. We were on a board today where one of the people said she can only help at the end of the month. It's fine. We started loading all the others, and at the end of the month, she's going to take her sponsored spot. It is still months quicker than if they had to wait for a boarding call, because this was a board that closed in compartment 14, 100 boarding calls ago. So if they were to wait for a boarding call, they were going to wait 9,000 gifters. So even though they have to wait till the end of the month before this lady can help, it is months quicker than if they were to wait for a boarding call. And that is what people don't understand. And all the groups we've started, everyone helps or jumps in or say, I can do this, I can do this. Every single board that we're closing now, the Legend, for instance, has sponsored one, has agreed to sponsor somebody in. So the guys on the call here that is with us on the groups, like I said, Emma, Ilona, I think Glenn Harvey is one, Lorna. Just pop in the comment box. What has been your experience with this? Is it a great experience? Is it bad? Does it work? Does it not work? How are you feeling about it? And I've got builders that asked us to work on a board. And this board is going to close now. Then they're only becoming guides. So it's not like they're legends. But they all said, right, next month, we are working on the board again, and then we're a legend. And the next month, we're working on it again, and then we're done. We got our gifters. So in 3 months, they're going to move from a builder to a legend. If they were to wait for the whole compartment every time to close, they would have waited months and months and months. This is the time now for everyone to take their abundance and destiny in their own hands. Sorry, I don't know if this is what you said while I was on my call.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's exactly what I wanted to hear from you. Jerry, Lana Kutsia said it works. Well, we've seen that it works. Even if the board splits and we get to it in another 30 days and get it to full after that, it's much faster than a boarding call. If people are willing to work, we work. I took one of my deep dive profiles and I sponsored in 2 positions, and almost immediately somebody else also sponsored 2 positions. It's easy. If somebody starts working on a board, I've seen that on the old boards as well. Just sponsor 1 position in and it starts going. All right. Emma's also saying It's great, Victor. All of a sudden there's movement. Yeah, there's movement. Leon, you've got your hand up. Thanks, Liana. Leon, unmute yourself. You've got a question for us.
Yes, thank you very much, Stefan. Liana has somehow answered my question without me even asking it, but I just want to reiterate and to make sure that I understand it correctly. Although on most of my submarine boards, I'm not a legend yet. So if I have the means to gift by the 25th of this month or whatever the case may be, I can ask for a board to work on. And so I don't have to wait for the actual boarding call, which I think is still quite a few hundred away from me on all my boards. So do I understand it correct, Stefan, that I can ask you guys, I want to start working on a board, or I want to start contributing to a board and work that board, even though I'm not a legend? That, if that makes sense, please.
Yeah, that makes sense, Leon. Somebody who was in builder position 2 asked if we can work on the board. And they said, I can sponsor two people in from the sponsor list. So that board got 2 people in now. It's gifted, it's confirmed. Next month, that person will sponsor 2 more positions in for one of the other builders. Hopefully by that time, somebody else on the board also starts moving. So you don't have to be in legend. If you're on a board and you want to work on that board, let's say you've got 8 people that wants to join and they're ready with the gifts and you're sitting in Boulder, send me a photo. I open the board. It gets the legend's username, the compartment and the boarding call number. We put the people in there that's on the board. I make you admin, you add everybody, and there we go. We start working on the board. So we can work on any board. If you want to work on a board, send me a photo and I open the group. Liana, I don't know how many board groups do we have open now. It's quite a lot. I don't have time to count them, but there's quite a lot. I mark them on the file. Once the board is finished, we make 2 new groups for the 2 new legends. Everybody leaves the group, then I hand over ownership to Christina. She archives the group for reference if we need to go back there sometime. And then we've got 2 new groups for the 2 new boards. If they carry on working or only one of them carry on working, it's momentum. That's how we create momentum. Lizette, you got your hand up? Sorry, Liana wants to say something first.
Just want to add on, Leon, and if you're ready, you can send me a message and I can look what is your highest board on the submarine for you. And we can start working that one. So, or you can choose a specific board, doesn't matter. I mean, so today it's Thornton, he's on the call. I'm going to name and shame him. Today, Thornton sent me a message. He actually sent it 2 days ago and then today again. And he's like, I want to work on this board. And I'm the legend actually on the board. So I wasn't the one that instigated us working on the board. It came from Thornton was a guide. It came from the guide. And I think we've got 6 positions allocated on the board. 2 is on already. We started that group 3 o'clock this afternoon. The others will join shortly. We've got 1 or 2 people that's just waiting for emails to be created, and then we're moving on. Emma is a legend. She contacted me and said, please, can we move this board? She's in a position to sponsor 2, and it's her monthly committed positions. And this is exactly why we want to do this, because we've got the people on this call and a total of 80 people that is working. We cannot push 2,200 people if not everyone is working. Let's say the sponsorship profile hits gold legend in a month's time or whenever, and there is funds there. We will go back to the oldest boards and we'll work them. I mean, the sponsorship profiles is always to put back in the submarine. So we're not saying we're never going to work on those boards or never close those boards. But Leon, if you come to me and you say, I've got my monthly committed position, I want to put it on my own board, we can't stop the guys now anymore because it's 100 people trying to push 2,200. And we now at a point where those 100 needs to push themselves or needs to benefit from their commitment and their work.
Thank you, Liana, Stefan, that I'm up to date and I'm with you. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay. Lizette, you had your hand up. Do you have a question for us?
No, I've actually got a statement to make to say that, yes, I've got 2 of my boards that you and Liana are assisting me on. And guys, really look at your boards and let Liana and Stefan help you. They really bring in such a positive energy into the space.
That is true.
And it just takes momentum and it goes off. Really look at your boards and let the people help who wants to help. That's all I want to say. And thank you,
Good,
Stefan,
thank
and
you.
thank you.
Thank you for that. Mikala asked you, does it matter if it's a perpetual board already or not? It doesn't matter. We have been working on perpetual boards. Remember now, on the first board, the Legend sponsors you in with $87.50. On a perpetual board, the Legend is not going to sponsor you. So if you've got a perpetual board that you work on, I said this many times in the training calls, if you've got a perpetual board that you want to work on and take another position or invite somebody to that to strengthen your lineage, you can do that. Send me a photo and I will assist you to get a profile on there. If you don't want to work on your own board and you want to be on one of the higher up boards, let me just digress a little bit here. Remember, we've got profiles on their second bronze board, their first perpetual. Then we've got just over 90 on their third bronze board. And we've got 7 on their fourth bronze board. If you want to take a position on one of those 7, you will be following the highest profile on the submarine list if the invite goes out from there. And then the whole submarine is going to push you. So if you've got $100 available, or if you know somebody that wants to take a position on a perpetual board, contact me. I'll find the best board for you. Liana sponsored how many boarding calls in now? Because we worked on the number 2 and 3 sponsor profiles of Liana. She started receiving gifts and she used the gifts to sponsor people in. We do have a sponsor list, which is not much. We don't have much more than 40 people left on there. So if anybody wants to nominate somebody or ask for a sponsored position, get your names into Festina. But if you want to work on a perpetual board, we can orchestrate that for you and help you to do that. If it's a first board, yes, we do that as well. Same thing. We open a board, a little board chat group on Telegram, and we operate the board. Easy as that. No rocket science. It's submarine science. Jan, you got your hand up again?
Yeah, apologies, Stefan. I feel very talkative tonight, but I'm very positive about where this is going and what's happening. Just another question as well. I'm not the only one listening to this call. I've got my partner with me here as well. When it becomes time for our committed spot, so we've gone through the submarine and we need to use that committed spot now to the other dream vehicles. Will we have a say in where to go, or will you guys still place that committed position to the other dream vehicles?
Leon, just rephrase the question for me again.
So basically what I'm saying is that when it becomes time to use our committed position from the submarine to put onto the other dream vehicles like the tracks and the cruise and so forth.
Okay,
will we have a say where to go with that committed position, or will it still be, will you guys still guide us to put it where it is needed, if it makes some sense there?
We try to take 8 people through at one time for a boarding call. The last one that we did on the cruise, we had 4 people and we did a boarding call. So I will prefer if we can follow the sequence: 1 boarding call for tracks, 1 for cruise, 1 for caravan, 1 for eagles. But the challenge we've got now, some people got profiles on some of the vehicles and not on others. So if you really want to take a profile let's say you're not on caravans yet, we can allocate. We're not going to do a boarding call. We will contact the builder, send out a link to you, and you get yourself on the board so long. Do the gifting, and that legend must then keep that $100 because the first 400 goes for silver. So we can do that. If you prefer to be on a specific vehicle, we can do that. I am a very accommodating soul most of the time. I only look so stubborn and like I've got a heart of stone. My heart is actually very soft. So if you really want to be on the caravan or whatever vehicle you want to go on, I will accommodate you. We'll make a plan for you.
Stefan, you
Thank
and I can also talk about this, but now with Leon's question, I was thinking, and I'm going to throw us under the bus, but I'm going to do it because we've always been upfront. Maybe it's also time. So let's say I'm going to use Leon as an example because he asked the question. So let's say Leon gets on his second bronze board in the submarine. Now he receives $800. He goes to silver, and this is the time he needs to take a committed position. If Leon wants to take his committed position on his existing tracks board, I think we must let the guys then push their own boards in the other vehicles, as long as it goes to one of the other vehicles, because again, it's going to help the people that's working.
100%. Yes, I agree with that. If Leon wants to work on his own board, there's no reason why not. Leon, let's say you've got one profile going through. You receive the 7th gift and you want to take the committed position on whichever vehicle. And you've got a profile on a board. We can go to that board and work on it. The file is easy to adjust. I mean, Liana, how far is the submarine file going now? I think 22,000 lines. We've just added on the file where it belongs. It's Excel. Excel's been in use for a long time. We can do that. So we can even put you on your own board if need to be. If you then wants to go out and go find other people for the rest of the board, you're free to do that. We open a board group chat and you communicate. And if you want to add people on, we add them on. Easy as that.
That's fantastic, guys. Thank you very much. I think, that is exactly the reason why I said to somebody yesterday that the Dream project has moved light years faster than the normal boards because of teamwork, because of your guys' guidance, and because there is committed people that use the proper guidelines and use the proper method to do things. So I'm very thankful for that, Stefan and Liana. You know me, I'm quick to speak and quick to moan and whatever, but that's because I'm excited and I'm committed to this project, and that's in that light that I always want to know exactly how things work and how we're moving forward. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And I will not speak again. Sorry, Stefan.
We've got about 8 minutes left. You can speak as much as you want. Just a quick thing on some of the boards on the other vehicles. If somebody didn't log in and got removed, or somebody removed themselves by leaving Gift of Legacy, what I do on the boards where I'm involved, I go look at the board and we try to fill the builder position if there's somebody not on the board. It's a bit tricky sometimes because 5 goes up to builder, 7 goes up to builder, 1 and 3 goes up to builder. So it's a bit tricky at times, but it's not the end of the world. It might take 3 or 4 gifters to trickle up before we got the board in sync again. But I'll help you with that. I'll guide you with that. So if you've got boards like that, we'll do it. Zala, you said you're sponsor for which boards? Do you have a question specifically? Type it out or unmute and shout. Is Zala still on? Zala, can you just explain the question more clearly for me?
So
Silence.
Stefan,
Right.
I'm not sure, but I'll quickly explain to Zelda. So we've got sponsors in two types of way. So we've got the 9 sponsorship profiles, and whenever they receive gifts, we either use it to put them on the higher board, so to keep the lineage intact, or we use it to sponsor people in at the bottom of the submarine. So for instance, I've got a spreadsheet. I know exactly which boarding calls are sponsored in, how many gifters to the last dollar cent. I track it. And so that is, but then in addition to that, we've got people. So for instance, when Victor put somebody on his board today, he said he doesn't want another position at this point, but he wants to move his board. So he will pay for the gift, but he doesn't want a position. So then we put a sponsorship person in there. So we either put a charity. I think Cheryl Stein has got from mouse conservation to owl conservation to dog conservations. Like, she's got amazing charities on here that she gave to us for the sponsor list. She manages them, she signs them up, and you just do the gift. So that is in a nutshell how the sponsors. So the sponsors works from the sponsorship profile, but in addition to that, if there's people that wants to move aboard, but they don't want another position, then we also give them somebody from a sponsor and they just do the gift.
We also got quite a few people who is committed to a monthly position, but they don't want the position for themselves. They want to sponsor somebody in. So on the sponsorship file, I then select the next person that's on the file, put the person in that's going to do the gifting, and that's how we enter it on the boarding call or in the group Telegram chat. So that's the different ways that we do sponsorship. It's a sponsorship funds, or people sponsoring other people in. Yeah, sponsoring the second board, that is a personal choice. If you want to talk about the second bronze boards, what I did on quite a few of them, on the boards that I assist with and some of my own boards, is to sponsor people in. If I know that somebody wants a position and they can't afford it, they took their last money to gift away on a board, and it's going to take time for that thing to move, I frequently pick up the phone and phone them and say there's a link coming, register the profile. If I'm not in the legend position, I'll do the gifting to the legend. If I'm in the legend position, or if I assist with the legends profile, we just confirm. It is possible. Liana is doing the same. Bobby do the same. We are not scared to sacrifice a gift when we're in legend on a second or a third board. If somebody really is in need of a profile and they do not have the gift to give to the legends, we can do that. Pierre is asking, can I send you a photo of an old board? Yeah, you can send me a photo of that board up here and then we can have a look at it. You must remember, with the amount of profiles that I'm assisting with, there's a lot of profiles where my phone number is on, but it's not my profile. Every board that we fill and it got split, there's 2 more people needed, so it takes time to build them. But send me the photo of the board so we can have a look at it. Who owns Pegasus? Pegasus owns Pegasus. Yeah, I've sent them a message already. They didn't log in. I did quite a nasty voice note to them because they've got 7 profiles up for deletion. So Karin will have to move a bum during the night. All right, we've got 2.5 minutes left. Any other quick questions?
Stefan, I just want to say to the guys on here, you've heard now firsthand from people that since last week, Thursday, decided to work on their boards, that it's working. So it's really up to everyone. We haven't given up. We haven't abandoned. We just had to make a call to say we have to help the people that wants to help themselves. That is just, and I'm not ashamed to say it. that is just how it was. If everyone kept on building, we could have continued like we've continued all along, and we would have had brilliant flow. But we've got 10%, not even 5% of the people doing it. And that is why we said we have to help these people. This choice we've made now is impacting me and Bobby severely, because we are almost on every single board. So everyone is looking at us to also help build on the board. And as much as we have in our ability, we do it, because that's what it takes to move that board. So this wasn't an easy way for us, but it is the best way to help the people that chose to help themselves.
Right, we got a minute left. Katia, you got your hand up. Quick question before we say bye-bye.
Hi, Stefan. Yes, I sent my pictures to you over the weekend. You said you'd come back to me
Yes, I'll get to them.
to work aboard. Oh, okay. I thought maybe you forgot me.
No, I don't
Okay,
forget. I've
thank
got
you.
2,000 messages left to go through.
Okay, I'll wait for you patiently. Thank you.
Right, time is up, people. Unmute yourself, shout bye-bye. And then we, training is Saturday, 11, 1 and 7 o'clock South African time. Unmute yourself, shout bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Have a lucky
Bye.
evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Blessed night. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, Penny.